that's like where that excitement's coming from. The reality is like even the kind of most biggest productive bumps that we're seeing from those they're not huge. It's not like a programmer becomes 50% more productive
It's
using these
like 5 or
tools.
10%. Yeah.
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 And so it's that's when they practice a lot
Right.
using it. And so
Yeah.
I think a lot of the things that has kind of felt scary is like, oh, there's this big discontinuous jump where all of a sudden like people get way more productive and people are going to lose their jobs. But the reality is like, it's actually still a pretty gradual transition as we learn about how to use these new tools. And during those transition periods, which there are lots of precedent over the
Yeah.
past 50 years for these types of transition periods, if you approach it thinking like, all right, there's a person that's still doing this thing, and we're going to use these as tools to assist the person in doing that thing, it just creates a very different mindset about what you're expecting out of it.
That's such a good point, because it's when you come at it thinking we're going to wipe this whole department out, you set yourself up to fail, because that's just really not within reason. And I
Yeah.
think about, having done this for a long time, like when I think about the evolutions in the technology that aids us, it's, I remember, you said, had a project that, something you could do today pretty quickly took 8 months. I remember coding stuff in Notepad before IDEs, and then IDEs come along, and then, libraries come along, and then all these things. And this is, I feel like, just the next evolution from the coding side. Here's something that can suggest something, but like you could never use it. The output that comes out of it just directly, we never want people to use, right away.
Yeah.
I love the expectation setting. I'm curious. So do you know the book, Thinking Fast and Thinking Slow? Kind of, okay. So like, I feel like the promise could be eliminating some of the thinking slow stuff that people just aren't good at, but the fast part of the judgment about what, like, I feel like, writing the 100 lines is hard, but if I see it, I'll use this, that part we're really good at. And that's where the, your 10% comes from. Does that feel right from a, like expectation point of view to you?
I think so. I know of Thinking Fast and Thinking Slow, and even did read it at some point. I'm not sure if I have the full, if I could like draw the line and say like it's the slow versus fast.
Yeah.
But yes, based on what I remember about that,
Yeah.
I think that I agree with that.
So
kind of
without
like,
being too pedantic, for the benefit of anyone listening, here's my summary. So correct me in the
all right.
comments.
Thank you.